Did you know that we have explored less of the ocean than the surface of Mars? Think about that. We have mapped distant planets in detail, but the depths beneath our own oceans remain almost entirely unknown. Now consider something else. What if the unknown is not empty? What if something down there is already aware of us? The following account is assembled from fragmented expedition logs, corrupted recordings, and restricted research notes that were never intended for public release. Most of it originates from a deep-sea operation conducted in a remote region of the Pacific Ocean where an anomaly appeared without warning. The ocean floor in that area did not simply deepen, it opened. A trench formed where none had existed before, and initial scans failed to detect a bottom. Signals sent into it did not behave normally. Every transmission returned with a delay that could not be explained by distance alone. At first, the research team attributed this to interference, pressure distortion, or unknown geological activity. That assumption began to collapse on the third day. One of the autonomous submersibles transmitted routine footage from within the trench. The video showed nothing unusual at first: dark water, suspended particles, and the slow drift of sediment. But during review, a technician noticed something inconsistent. Movement was present in the footage, but not where it should have been. It was not in front of the camera, it was behind it. Frame-by-frame analysis revealed a distortion that never fully entered view. A massive shape that seemed to remain just outside the visible frame at all times. It maintained perfect alignment with the direction the camera was facing. It did not matter how the drone rotated, the presence adjusted instantly. Always behind, always observing. The phenomenon was later designated as the Eyeless Watchers. These entities did not respond to light, sound, or movement. Instead, their behavior suggested a response to awareness itself. Whenever a camera focused on a specific area, the distortion shifted position, maintaining its place just beyond perception. It was as if the act of observation prevented them from being seen directly. By the sixth day, a second anomaly was recorded. A deeper probe captured a brief but significant visual irregularity. The darkness appeared to reflect, which should not have been possible at such depths. There was no sufficient light source to produce a reflection. Upon enhancing the footage, the team identified multiple shapes that blended seamlessly with their surroundings. When observed directly, they vanished completely. When the camera drifted even slightly away, they became visible again, moving slowly through the water. These were classified as the mirror swimmers. Their defining trait was paradoxical. They were invisible under direct observation and visible only when not the primary focus. As the expedition continued, the anomalies began to overlap. Equipment started to malfunction without clear cause. Data streams contained patterns that resembled signals. Several crew members reported a persistent auditory phenomenon described as a low, distant vibration. It seemed to originate from no identifiable source. This was initially dismissed as psychological stress. That explanation became less convincing when the recordings themselves began to contain the same sound. The signal was later referred to as the deep noise. Unlike the other phenomena, it was not tied to a visible form. It existed as a frequency. Analysis revealed that prolonged exposure to this sound altered cognitive patterns. Reaction times slowed. Decision-making deteriorated. Some individuals began to feel that the sound was not external but internal, as if it was being generated inside their own thoughts. By the 9th day, behavioral changes became impossible to ignore. Sleep cycles destabilized, communication grew fragmented. Several members of the team began to believe the trench was not passive, that it was active, that it was responding. This theory gained attention when drones captured a large formation deep within the trench. At first, it appeared geological, but scans revealed coordinated movement. The entire structure shifted as one system. It expanded and contracted rhythmically. The team referred to this as the shepherd of the deep. It appeared to influence its surroundings directly. Smaller organisms moved in synchronized patterns, forming shapes and dispersing again, as if guided by a central force. The expedition shifted from exploration to observation. Attempts to retrieve drones began to fail. Signals were delayed further. In some cases, commands were executed before they were sent. The timeline of cause and effect appeared to break down. The final recording showed the trench interior. The water moved in layered patterns that did not match natural currents. The entire environment shifted in coordination, as if the ocean was functioning as something. The trench was not a location. It was part of a larger structure, and that structure was the ocean itself. If something down there can observe without being seen, move without being detected, and influence without being understood, then it is possible that the exploration was never one-sided. While we were trying to understand the ocean, something in the ocean may have already been trying to understand us.